Memphis, Tennessee, October 15th, 2024. A 23-year-old urban explorer named Jamal Carter stands outside the abandoned Regal Theater on South Main Street and hits record on his camera. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jamal, back with another Explore. Today we're checking out one of Memphis's most haunted locations, the Regal Theater, right here in the South Main Arts District. This place closed in 1996, 28 years abandoned. And according to local legends, people hear screaming coming from Theater 7 at night. Jamal has been doing urban exploration for 2 years, filming abandoned buildings across Memphis and posting videos to YouTube and TikTok. He's got 47,000 subscribers. Not enough to quit his job at FedEx. This is Memphis. Everyone works at FedEx, but enough to buy decent camera equipment and pay for gas to explore forgotten places across the Mid-South. He's not afraid of abandoned buildings. He's explored the old Sears Crosstown before they renovated it, the abandoned Linden Avenue train station, empty houses in Orange Mound. He wears proper safety gear, respirator mask, steel-toed boots, gloves. He checks floors before walking on them. He's careful, but the Regal Theater makes him nervous. He's been putting this explore off for 6 months. Every urban explorer in Memphis has a story about this place, about hearing voices in Theater 7, about cameras malfunctioning, about feeling like someone's watching you from the seats even though the building is empty. Jamal doesn't believe in ghosts. He believes in views. And a haunted theater in downtown Memphis? That's guaranteed to hit 100,000 views minimum. Maybe more if he gets good footage. The Regal Theater sits on South Main between Huling and G. Ep. Patterson. It's a beautiful building from the outside. Art Deco facade from 1947. Built right after World War II when downtown Memphis was thriving. Back then, this was the place black folks went to see movies. During segregation, this was their theater, their space. The building has 7 theaters inside. In the 70s and 80s, it showed blaxploitation films, Shaft, Superfly, Foxy Brown. In the 90s, it pivoted to horror movies, trying to survive as downtown Memphis declined. They converted Theater 7 into a special horror experience room, props, decorations, actors in costume on premiere nights. Then in September 1996, the theater closed. Suddenly, no warning. Just locked the doors one day and never reopened. The owner, a white man named Gerald Briggs, died in 1998. His son Mitchell inherited the property but never did anything with it. Just let it sit empty for 26 years while the South Main Arts District slowly gentrified around it. Now, in 2024, Mitchell Briggs finally sold the property. A developer bought it 3 months ago. Plans to renovate it into a boutique hotel. But first, someone needs to document what's inside before demolition starts next month. That someone is Jamal. He walks around to the back alley, finds a service door with a broken lock. He's wearing gloves. He pushes the door open carefully. It creaks, loud. The sound echoes. He's in a back hallway. Dark, narrow. His flashlight cuts through the darkness. The walls are covered in graffiti. Tags from other urban explorers, going back years. Memphis Urbex, 2008. Explored 2015. Don't go to Theater 7, spray-painted in red. Jamal films everything. His camera is chest-mounted, hands-free, so he can climb and explore safely while recording. Alright, y'all, we're inside. You can see this place is trashed. Graffiti everywhere. Smells like mold and, I don't know, chemicals? Something sharp. Let's check out the lobby first, before we get to Theater 7. The lobby is massive. Or it was massive. Now it's a ruin. The carpet is black with water damage and mold. The concession stand is gutted copper pipes torn out by scrappers. Movie posters from the 90s still hang on the walls, faded and peeling, waiting to exhale. Dead presidents. Tales from the Hood. Jamal films it all. Narrates what he sees. Keeps his voice steady, even though something about this place feels wrong. The temperature is too cold for October in Memphis. The shadows seem darker than they should be. And that chemical smell is getting stronger as he walks deeper into the building. Man, y'all can probably smell this through the screen. I don't know what that is. Kinda like a hospital smell. Anyway, I'm gonna check out the theaters. There's 7 of them. I'm saving Theater 7 for last because that's the one everyone talks about. Theaters 1 through 6 are all the same. Rows of seats torn up, foam spilling out. Screens vandalized or torn down completely. Projection booths stripped of all equipment. Nothing unusual. Just normal urban decay. Then Jamal reaches Theater 7. The doors are different. Heavy. Metal. Not the regular wooden doors the other theaters have. There's a faded sign above the entrance. Horror experience. Enter if you dare. Est. 918. 984. Jamal pushes the doors open. They creak loud enough to make him jump. The sound echoes through the empty building. Inside, Theater 7 is pitch black, darker than the other theaters. Jamal's flashlight barely cuts through the darkness. He can see shapes. The walls are painted black, decorations everywhere. Fake cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. Plastic skeletons. A mannequin dressed as Freddy Krueger stands in one corner. Another dressed as Jason Voorhees near the emergency exit. Okay, y'all, this is Theater 7, the infamous horror room. You can see they really committed to the theme. This is actually pretty dope, very 90s horror aesthetic. I'm loving this. Jamal walks down the center aisle slowly. Films the seats. Films the torn screen. Films the horror movie props scattered around. His flashlight sweeps across the back of the theater. That's when he sees it. A glass display case, 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide, sitting against the back wall behind the last row of seats. Inside the case is a figure. A black man, mid-20s, dressed in tattered, bloody clothes like a horror movie victim. His skin is grayish-brown. His eyes are closed. His mouth is open in a scream. His hands are pressed against the glass from the inside like he's trying to push it open. There's a placard on the front of the case. Original prop from Chamber of Horrors, 1986. In memory of Terrell Jackson, forever part of the show. Jamal walks closer. Films it. Yo, check this out. This is insane. Look at the detail on this prop. The skin texture looks so real. The hair looks real. Even the fingernails look real. This must have cost a fortune to make back in the 90s. This is like movie-quality special effects. He circles the case slowly. Films from every angle. The figure inside looks incredibly realistic. The skin has visible pores. The hair is still attached to the scalp in patches, looks like real human hair, not a wig. The hands have visible fingerprints on the glass. There's even a gold tooth visible when you look at the open mouth. Man, whoever made this really understood anatomy. This is probably the most realistic horror prop I've ever seen. The detail is crazy. Jamal reaches out like he's going to touch the glass, then stops himself. I'm not gonna touch it. Don't want to damage it. This is probably worth a lot of money to horror movie collectors. He films for another minute. Gets close-ups of the face, the hands, the sign. Then he backs away. All right, y'all. That's Theater 7. The haunted horror room. I didn't hear any screaming. Didn't see any ghosts. But that prop is genuinely creepy. Props to whoever made that back in '96. No pun intended. Jamal explores the rest of the building. The projection rooms, the manager's office, the basement. He spends 3 hours inside, gets tons of footage. Everything he needs for a great video. He leaves through the same back door as the sun starts setting. Drives home to his apartment in Midtown, uploads all the footage to his computer, starts editing. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear my story. If you're comfortable, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. Now let me tell you what happened after Jamal posted that video. Jamal finishes editing at 2:30 in the morning. The video is 26 minutes long, good pacing, atmospheric. The footage of Theater 7 and the display case is genuinely unsettling in the best way. He titles it, Exploring Memphis's Most Haunted Theater. Something Wrong in Theater 7. He uploads it to YouTube, posts short clips to TikTok and Instagram, goes to bed. When he wakes up at 10 a.m., he has the day off from FedEx. His phone is exploding with notifications. Hundreds, thousands. He opens YouTube. The video has 73,000 views in 7.5 hours. That's more than any video he's ever posted. His average is maybe 5,000 views in the first day. He reads the comments. There are over 3,000 comments already, and they're all saying the same thing. That's not a prop, bro. That's a real body. Someone needs to call the police. That's 100% a real person. Look at the skin. The hands are real. The fingernails are real. That's not latex. I'm a special effects artist. That's not a prop. That's real. This isn't funny. That's a dead person. Call the cops now. Jamal scrolls through dozens of comments. His stomach twists. He re-watches his own video, focuses on the display case footage, really looks at the figure inside. The skin does look real. Not latex real. Actually real. The hair isn't synthetic, it's human hair. You can tell by how it catches the light. The fingernails aren't glued on props, they're growing from actual nail beds. There's even what looks like a wedding ring on the left hand, but it can't be real. It's in a display case, in a theater, with a sign that says it's a prop. Obviously, it's a prop, right? Jamal keeps reading comments. Someone has posted a link. It goes to an old newspaper article. Memphis Commercial Appeal, September 10th, 1996. Local actor Terrell Jackson reported missing. Jamal clicks the link, reads the article. Terrell Jackson, 26 years old, local Memphis actor. He starred in an independent horror film called Chamber of Horrors that was produced in Memphis in 1996. The film was supposed to premiere at the Regal Theater on September 7th, 1996. Terrell was supposed to attend the premiere for a Q&A session. He never showed up. His car was found in the theater parking lot. His family reported him missing. Police investigated. Found nothing. Case went cold. Jamal looks at the sign in his footage. Original prop from Chamber of Horrors, 1996, in memory of Terrell Jackson. His blood runs cold. More comments appear. People posting more links, more newspaper articles about Terrell Jackson, about the missing person investigation, about how the Regal Theater closed permanently the day after Terrell disappeared, about how the case was never solved. Someone comments, "The prop is Terrell Jackson. Someone killed him and put him on display. You found a body." Another comment, with 2,000 likes. "I'm a forensic pathologist. That body shows clear signs of mummification and preservation. The skin discoloration, the tissue degradation, the desiccation, those are not reproducible with movie props. That's real human remains. You need to call police immediately." Jamal's hands are shaking. He reads through hundreds more comments. Most are telling him to call the police immediately. Some are accusing him of faking it for views. Others are saying he's disrespecting a dead person by filming them. His video is at 90,000 views now. His TikTok clips have over 300,000 views combined. People are sharing it everywhere. Jamal doesn't know what to do. If he calls the police and it really is just a prop, he'll look like an idiot. He'll be the guy who thought a Halloween decoration was a real body. The internet will roast him forever. But if it is real, if that really is Terrell Jackson, then he just filmed a dead body and posted it to YouTube for entertainment. Jamal reads more comments. His subscriber count is climbing 52,000 now. But he feels sick. One comment catches his eye. "Dude, if you're not sure, go back. Check it again. Look closer this time. Then you'll know." That's what he needs to do. He needs to go back. He needs to actually examine the case closely. Not just film it and assume it's fake. He needs to know for sure before he calls anyone. Jamal grabs his keys. His better camera, the one with the macro lens, a high-powered flashlight. He drives back to the Regal Theater. It's 2 in the afternoon. Sunday. South Main Street is busy with tourists walking to the arcade restaurant and the Peabody Hotel. Nobody pays attention to Jamal slipping into the back alley behind the theater. He goes through the same service door, down the same hallway, through the lobby, straight to Theater 7. The metal doors creak when he opens them. The sound makes him jump even though he's expecting it this time. Theater 7 is just as dark as yesterday, just as cold. That chemical smell is even stronger now that he's paying attention to it. It's not mold, it's not decay, it's formaldehyde. He recognizes it from high school biology class. From dissecting frogs, Why would a prop smell like formaldehyde? Jamal walks to the back of the theater, to the display case. He turns on his high-powered flashlight, points it directly at the figure inside, and he sees details he missed yesterday. The skin isn't painted latex, it's leather. Real human skin that's been mummified and preserved. He can see pores. He can see where veins used to be visible under the surface. The color isn't uniform like paint, it's mottled and organic like real decomposed flesh. The hair isn't a wig. It's real human hair, still attached to a real human scalp. Some patches are missing where the scalp has degraded, but where the hair remains, it's clearly growing from actual hair follicles. The fingernails aren't props. They're real nails that have continued growing slightly after death. He can see how they're yellowed and overgrown. There's dirt under them. One nail is cracked. The eyes are closed, but the eye sockets are real. He can see the shape of the eyeballs collapsed behind the eyelids. The mouth is open in a scream, and inside he can see real teeth, real tongue, desiccated and brown, real throat. And that gold tooth, it's a real gold cap on a real molar. Not costume jewelry. Actual dental work. And the hands pressed against the glass from inside. He looks closer at the fingertips. There are fingerprints. Actual human fingerprints pressed into the glass. And on the left hand, fourth finger, there's a ring. A simple gold band. A wedding ring. Jamal steps back. His heart is pounding. His hands are shaking so badly he almost drops the flashlight. That's not a prop. That's a person. That's Terrell Jackson. He's been in this case for 28 years. On display in Theater 7. People probably walked past him hundreds of times thinking he was special effects, but he was real. The whole time. Jamal pulls out his phone, opens the camera app, takes photos, close-ups of the face, the hands, the fingernails, the gold tooth, the wedding ring, the sign, everything. He needs evidence. Because he knows what's about to happen. He's about to call the police, and they're not going to believe him. He takes 50 photos, then he backs away from the case, leaves Theater 7, walks out of the building into the bright Memphis afternoon. He sits on the curb on South Main Street. Tourists walk past. A trolley goes by. Everything is normal. Everything is fine. Except Jamal just found a dead body that's been missing for 28 years. He opens his phone. Searches for Memphis police, non-emergency number. Dials. A woman answers. Memphis Police Department, how can I help you? Hi. My name is Jamal Carter. I'm a urban explorer. I make YouTube videos. Yesterday I explored the old Regal Theater on South Main and I filmed what I thought was a prop, but people in my comments are saying it's real, and I went back today and I looked closer and I think they're right. I think it's a real body. Sir, is this about that YouTube video? Yes, ma'am. We've received 47 calls about that video in the last 6 hours. It's obviously a movie prop. The theater used to show horror films. That's a display piece. I know that's what it looks like, but I went back. I looked at it up close. I took pictures. It's real. The skin is real. The hair is real. The fingernails are real. I think it's Terrell Jackson. Who? Terrell Jackson. He was an actor. He went missing in 1996 from that theater. There are old newspaper articles about it. People in my comments found them. The sign on the case says, "In memory of Terrell Jackson." I think someone killed him and put him in the case and made it look like a prop. There's a long pause. Jamal can hear typing. Sir, did you break into that building? I what? The Regal Theater is private property. Did you enter without permission? I mean, yeah, but that's criminal trespassing. You filmed yourself committing a crime and posted it online. But there's a dead body in there. Sir, I'm going to tell you this one time. Stop calling about the prop. It's not real. If you continue to call and waste police time, we will charge you with filing a false report, and we already have evidence of you trespassing. Do you understand? But, do you understand? Jamal's throat is tight. Yes, ma'am. Good. Stop calling. She hangs up. Jamal sits on the curb staring at his phone. They don't believe him. They think he's lying for views. They think he's making it up. And they're threatening to charge him with trespassing. He tries again, calls back, gets a different dispatcher. A man this time. Memphis police. What's your emergency? It's not an emergency exactly, but I'm calling about a body I found. Is this about the theater prop? It's not a prop. Sir, we've received dozens of calls. It's fake. Stop calling. Can I just talk to a detective? Someone in homicide? I have photos. I can prove. You can prove you trespassed. We have your video. If you keep calling, we're going to charge you. Stop wasting our time. Click. He hangs up. Jamal tries the tip line, gets a voicemail. He leaves a message, explains everything, offers to send photos, gives his phone number, waits. Nobody calls back. He posts an update video to YouTube, films himself sitting in his car. Yo, I need to talk to y'all. I went back to the theater. I looked at the prop up close. It's real. It's a real body. I tried calling the police. They don't believe me. They said if I keep calling, they're gonna charge me with trespassing. I don't know what to do. If anyone knows someone in Memphis PD, please help. This is real. He posts it. Within an hour, it has 50,000 views. But the comments turn on him. Stop milking this for views. You're obviously lying. Fake drama to boost engagement. Unsubscribing. This is cringe. You're making this up and it's disrespectful to real missing persons. His subscriber count starts dropping. 52,000. 51,000. 50,000. Jamal watches the numbers fall and feels sick. Local Memphis news picks up the story. Not to support him, to mock him. Local YouTuber claims theater prop is real body. Police say it's a hoax. The article quotes a police spokesperson. We've investigated the claims. The display case contains a theatrical prop from a 1996 horror film. We encourage people to stop spreading misinformation online. Jamal reads the article 3 times. They investigated? When? He was just there 2 hours ago, and there were no police. They didn't investigate. They just dismissed it. His phone buzzes. Instagram DM. From an account called Diana_Jackson_1970. The message says, "That's my brother. I know his face. I've been looking at photos of him for 28 years. That's Terrell in your video. Please, help me. The police won't listen to me either." Jamal opens the account. It belongs to Diana Jackson, age 54, lives in Memphis. Her bio says, "Still searching for my brother Terrell Jackson. Missing since 9/7/96. Her feed is full of posts about Terrell. Old photos of him. Posts on the anniversary of his disappearance. Please for information." Jamal messages back. "I believe you. I went back and looked close. It's real. But police won't listen to me." Diana responds immediately. "Can we meet? I need to see your photos. I need to know for sure." "Yes." "Where?" "Ernestine and Hazel's. On South Main. 1 hour." Jamal drives to Ernestine and Hazel's, the famous soul food restaurant and juke joint on South Main. It's only a few blocks from the Regal Theater. Diana is waiting outside. She's a small black woman with gray hair and tired eyes. She looks like she hasn't slept in days. "Jamal?" she asks. "Yes, ma'am. Thank you for meeting me." "Can I see the photos?" They go inside. Sit in a booth in the back. Jamal pulls out his phone, shows her the photos he took that afternoon, the close-ups of the face, the hands, the gold tooth, the wedding ring. Diana starts crying the moment she sees the first photo. "That's him. That's Terrell. I know his face. I know his hands. He had that gold tooth from when he fell off his bike when he was 16. And that ring, that's his wedding ring. He got married in 1995. His wife died in a car accident 6 months later. He never took the ring off. He said he'd wear it forever." She touches the phone screen, traces her brother's face. "He's been there the whole time, for 28 years, 5 minutes from my house. And nobody knew. I tried calling the police," Jamal says. "They won't listen. They never listened. I called them every week for 5 years after Terrell disappeared. They said he probably left town, that he got scared about the movie premiere and ran away. But Terrell wasn't like that. He was excited about the premiere. He'd been preparing for weeks. He wouldn't just leave. What do you remember about when he disappeared?" Diana wipes her eyes. September 6th, 1996. The night before the premiere. Terrell called me around 7 p.m. Said he was going to the theater to do one more rehearsal for the Q&A. He was nervous, wanted to practice his answers. He said he'd call me after. He never called. I went to the theater the next morning. The premiere was canceled. The owner, Gerald Briggs, said Terrell never showed up. Said he must have gotten cold feet. But Terrell's car was in the parking lot. His keys were in it. His wallet was in it. Everything except Terrell. The police didn't investigate? They did. For a few weeks. Then they decided Terrell left voluntarily. They said he probably got a ride with someone, that he started over somewhere new. They closed the case. I kept calling. They stopped returning my calls. Diana looks at the photos again. And he was there. In that case, the whole time. People probably walked past him thinking he was part of the show. The sign says, "In memory of Terrell Jackson," Jamal points out. Like a memorial. A memorial. Diana repeats. He put my brother in a case and called it a memorial. Like Terrell was already dead. Like it was a tribute. Who put him there? Gerald Briggs, the owner. He's the only one who could have. He died in '98. His son Mitchell inherited the theater. Mitchell kept it closed for 26 years. Why would you keep a building closed that long unless you were hiding something? Jamal nods slowly. We need to go to the police together. If you're his sister, they have to listen. They didn't listen for 28 years. Why would they listen now? Because I have photos. You have proof he's your brother. They can't ignore both of us. Diana looks at him. Okay, let's try. They drive to the Memphis Police Department headquarters on Union Avenue. Walk up to the front desk together. The sergeant on duty is a white man in his 50s. He looks up from his computer with barely concealed annoyance. Help you? Yes, sir, Jamal says. My name is Jamal Carter. This is Diana Jackson. We need to report a body at the old Regal Theater on South Main. The sergeant's expression hardens. You're the YouTube kid. Yes, sir. We've told you. It's a prop. Stop wasting our time. Diana steps forward. That prop is my brother, Terrell Jackson. He went missing from that theater in September 1996. Case number. She pulls out a paper from her purse, 96-4578. I filed the missing person report. I've been calling this department for 28 years asking for updates. The sergeant looks at her, types something into his computer. His expression softens slightly. Ma'am, I see the report here. Your brother was listed as a voluntary missing person. The case was closed in 1998. He didn't leave voluntarily. He's in that theater, in that display case. My nephew has photos. We can prove it's him. Ma'am, with all due respect, you're trusting the word of a YouTuber who makes money from views. He's probably lying to you. I'm not lying, Jamal says. I have 50 photos. I can show you. Look at them and tell me that's not a real body. The sergeant doesn't look at the photos. Sir, you broke into that building. That's criminal trespassing. You filmed yourself doing it. You posted the evidence online. We could charge you right now. But there's a body. There's a movie prop from a 1996 horror film called Chamber of Horrors. The theater used it as a decoration. It's been documented. It's fake. Where's it documented? Diana demands. Show me the documentation. Ma'am, I don't have to show you anything. I'm telling you what our investigation found. What investigation? When did you investigate? My nephew was there today and there were no police. The sergeant stands up. He's tall, intimidating. Ma'am, you need to leave, both of you. If you keep pushing this, we're going to charge him with trespassing, and we're going to charge you with filing a false report. It's not false. Leave. Now. Diana opens her mouth to argue, but Jamal touches her arm. Let's go. They walk out. Stand on the sidewalk outside the police headquarters. Diana is shaking with anger. They're covering it up, she says. They closed the case wrong in '96. They don't want to admit they were wrong, so they're calling you a liar and threatening us. What do we do? I don't know. I don't know. Diana stops. Her face goes pale. They said you trespassed. They said they could charge you. Yeah, Jamal, you need to get a lawyer. Right now. They're going to arrest you. For what? I didn't do anything wrong. You broke into private property. You filmed it. They have evidence. They're going to use it against you to shut you up. Before Jamal can respond, a police car pulls up. 2 officers get out. Jamal Carter? One of them asks. Yeah, you're under arrest for criminal trespassing. They put handcuffs on him right there on Union Avenue. Read him his rights. Diana is yelling at them, demanding to know why they're arresting him. They ignore her. They put Jamal in the back of the police car, drive him back to headquarters, process him, take his phone, take his wallet, take his keys, put him in a holding cell. Jamal sits on the metal bench in the cell and tries not to panic. They arrested him for trespassing, for finding a body and reporting it. He's in the cell for 6 hours. No phone call, no lawyer, just sitting there watching the clock. Finally, around 9 p.m., someone comes to get him. Not a police officer, a black man in his 40s wearing a suit. Mr. Carter? I'm Marcus Williams, public defender. Your friend posted your bail. Marcus? My boy Marcus? Yeah, he saw on social media that you were arrested. He pooled money with your other friends. Got you out. Come on. They process him out. Give him back his belongings. Marcus is waiting in the lobby. Gives Jamal a hug. Bro, you good? I don't know. They arrested me for finding a dead body. I know. It's all over the internet. Your video has 1 million views now. Everyone's talking about it. The police look bad. They're trending on Twitter for arresting you instead of investigating. They walk outside. It's dark now. Jamal's hands are shaking. They think I'm lying. They think I made it up for views. Bro, I watched your videos. Both of them. That's real. I believe you. I need to prove it. I need to make them investigate. Marcus nods. Then, we need to go public. Real public. Not just YouTube. Get the news involved. Get pressure on MPD. Jamal thinks about it. He's exhausted. He spent 6 hours in a cell. But Marcus is right. The only way the police will investigate is if they're forced to. Okay, let's do it. The next morning, Jamal's story is everywhere. Not just on YouTube. Local news, national news, CNN, Fox, MSNBC. Memphis YouTuber arrested after claiming to find missing man's body. Police accused of ignoring evidence in 28-year-old cold case. Family of missing actor says Memphis PD refuses to investigate. The pressure builds. Memphis City Council members start asking questions. The mayor's office releases a statement. Civil rights organizations get involved. And finally, on October 17th, 2 days after Jamal's arrest, Memphis police announced they're reopening the investigation into Terrell Jackson's disappearance. Detective Sarah Williams is assigned to the case. She's 52 years old, black woman, short gray hair, 28 years on the Memphis PD, 15 years in homicide. She calls Jamal that afternoon. Mr. Carter, this is Detective Williams. I'd like to meet with you about the Regal Theater. Can you come to the station? Am I in trouble? No. The trespassing charges are being dropped. I need your help. Jamal meets her at the station. She takes him to an interview room. She has his YouTube video pulled up on a laptop. I've watched this 20 times, Williams says. I need you to tell me everything. Every detail. Even things you didn't put in the video, Jamal tells her. The first visit. Filming the case. Posting the video. The comments. Going back. Looking closer. The photos. Calling the police. Being dismissed. Meeting Diana. Being arrested. Williams takes notes. I'm sorry about the arrest. That shouldn't have happened. Sometimes our department gets defensive, especially when the internet is involved. But I've been a homicide detective for 15 years, and I know a real body when I see one. You believe me? I believe the evidence. And your photos are evidence. Can you send them to me? Jamal sends all 50 photos to her email. Williams studies them on her laptop. Her expression gets more serious with each photo. This is Terrell Jackson. I'm certain of it. The question is how he ended up in that case and who put him there. Diana thinks it was the theater owner, Gerald Briggs. Gerald Briggs died in 1998, but his son Mitchell is still alive. Lives in Germantown. He inherited the property. I'm going to need to talk to him. But first, I need to go to the theater and see this in person. Can I come? Williams looks at him. Normally, no. But you found him. You reported it. You got arrested for doing the right thing. Yeah. You can come. They drive to the Regal Theater in Williams's unmarked car. She has a warrant this time. Official access. She brings 2 uniformed officers and the medical examiner, Dr. Patricia Montgomery. They go through the front entrance. Williams has keys from the current owner, through the lobby, down to Theater 7. Williams pushes open the metal doors, shines her flashlight, sees the display case at the back of the theater. She walks to it slowly, studies it, gets close. Her expression is grim. Dr. Montgomery examines it, takes photos, makes notes. After 10 minutes, she turns to Williams. That's real. Human remains. Mummified. Preserved with formaldehyde. Based on tissue degradation, I'd estimate time of death late August to early September 1996. We need to open the case and remove the body for proper examination. Williams nods. She turns to Jamal. You were right. Thank you for not giving up. They call a crime scene team. Carefully open the display case. Remove Terrell Jackson's body. It's been 28 years, but he's been so well preserved that he's still identifiable. They take him to the medical examiner's office. Perform an autopsy. Cause of death. Blunt force trauma to the back of the skull. Someone hit him hard enough to kill him, then preserved his body and put him on display. Williams calls Jamal 2 days later. We need to talk. Can you come to the station? Jamal meets her again. She has files spread across her desk. We've confirmed identity through dental records. It's Terrell Jackson. Cause of death was blunt force trauma. Someone hit him in the head hard enough to fracture his skull. Then they preserved his body with embalming techniques and sealed him in that case. Who? That's what I need to figure out. Terrell disappeared September 6, 1996. The theater closed permanently September 8th. 2 days later, the owner, Gerald Briggs, told police Terrell never showed up for the premiere, but Terrell's car was in the parking lot. So either Terrell walked away and left his car, or someone was lying. Gerald Briggs was lying, probably. But he's dead. Has been since '98. However, his son Mitchell is alive. I need to search Mitchell's property, but I need more evidence for a warrant. That's where you come in. How? Your followers. The people who've been commenting on your videos. They've been doing research, finding old articles, connecting dots. Can you ask them to send everything they've found to me? Every article, every photo, every connection. I need ammunition for this warrant. Jamal nods. I'll post today. He posts a video that evening. Detective Williams believes me now. They confirmed it's Terrell Jackson, but she needs help building a case. If you found articles or info about Terrell, about the theater, about Gerald Briggs or his son Mitchell, send it to Memphis PD. Send it to Detective Williams. Let's help get justice for Terrell. The response is immediate. Hundreds of people send information, old newspaper articles, interviews with Gerald Briggs, records of the theater closing, and someone finds something crucial, an old Memphis Flyer article from August 1996. An interview with Mitchell Briggs about his directorial debut, Chamber of Horrors. In the interview, Mitchell says, Terrell Jackson is the heart of this film. Without him, there is no Chamber of Horrors. Everything depends on him showing up for the premiere. And in parentheses, the writer notes, Mitchell Briggs and his father Gerald co-financed the film using profits from the Regal Theater. Mitchell directed. Gerald executive produced. Someone else finds another article. September 9th, 1996. 1 day after the theater closed. Regal Theater closes permanently after premiere cancellation. The article quotes Gerald Briggs. Due to unforeseen circumstances involving our premiere actor, we've decided to close the theater permanently. We've created a memorial in Theater 7 to honor Terrell Jackson, who we hope returns safely. The memorial will remain as long as the building stands. A memorial. He called the display case a memorial. 1 day after Terrell disappeared, before anyone knew what happened to him. Williams takes all the evidence to a judge, gets a warrant to search Mitchell Briggs's home in Germantown. She executes the warrant on October 22nd. Jamal isn't there for the search. He's not law enforcement, but Williams calls him afterward. "We found something. You need to come to the station." Jamal drives downtown. Williams takes him to an evidence room. On a table is a box of items from Mitchell Briggs's house. "This was in his attic," Williams says. "In a locked safe. His father's safe." Mitchell had the combination written down. She pulls on gloves, opens the box. Inside is a cassette tape, labeled in handwriting, September 6, 1996-insurance. Williams has already played it. She plays it again for Jamal. Static, then a voice. Male, older, southern accent, drunk. "My name is Gerald Briggs. It's September 6th, 1996, 3 in the morning. I'm recording this as insurance, in case anyone ever asks what happened. In case I ever need to prove I didn't plan this." A pause. Sound of ice in a glass. "Terrell came to the theater tonight, around 8 p.m., said he needed to rehearse for tomorrow's premiere. I was already there, working on last-minute details for the display case in Theater 7. The memorial case I'd commissioned. It was supposed to honor local horror films, but Terrell saw it, and he got ideas." Another pause. "He said the case should be for him, for his character in the movie. Said it would be great publicity if he posed in it during the premiere, like a living exhibit. I said no. The case wasn't designed for that. He kept pushing. We argued. He said if I didn't make him the centerpiece of the premiere, he'd walk. He'd refuse to do the Q&A. He'd tell everyone my son's film was garbage." The voice gets harder. "I'd invested $50,000 in Mitchell's film. The theater was already struggling. This premiere was supposed to save us, and this kid was threatening to destroy everything. So I pushed him. I just wanted him to shut up. But he fell, hit his head on the corner of the display case, the one he wanted to be in so badly. There was blood everywhere. Silence, just breathing. I called my friend Tom. He works at the funeral home, does embalming. I told him there was an accident. He came over, helped me. We treated the body, preserved it with formaldehyde. I had the idea then. If Terrell wanted to be in the case so badly, I'd give him what he wanted. We put him inside, made it look like a prop, like part of the horror exhibit. I put up a sign, in memory of Terrell Jackson, hiding him in plain sight. More silence. I canceled the premiere, closed the theater, reported Terrell missing. Police came. They searched, but they didn't check the display case because it was obviously a memorial, a tribute. Why would they look inside? I kept the case locked, kept Theater 7 off limits, and after a few months, everyone forgot. The case became part of the furniture, part of the legend of the haunted theater. The voice cracks. Mitchell doesn't know. He thinks Terrell just disappeared, that he got scared and ran away. I'll never tell him. This secret dies with me. I'm recording this only as insurance. If someone ever figures it out, I can use this to show it was an accident, self-defense. He was threatening me. I was protecting my investment. The tape ends. Williams stops the playback. Gerald Briggs killed Terrell Jackson, put him in the display case, made it look like a memorial, kept the secret until he died. But he was wrong about one thing. Mitchell did know. She pulls out another item from the box. A journal. Mitchell Briggs's handwriting, dated April 1998. Dad told me today. He's dying. Cancer. He has 3 months left. He said there's something I need to know about Terrell Jackson, about why the theater closed. He played me the tape. The confession. I wanted to hate him, but he's my father. He's dying. What am I supposed to do? Call the police? Destroy his reputation? Destroy my inheritance? The theater is worth nothing, but the land is worth $2 million. If I turn him in, the Jackson family will sue. They'll take everything. So I'm going to keep the secret. I'll keep the theater closed, keep Terrell sealed in that case. And when Dad dies, I'll never open the building again. The truth will stay buried. Williams closes the journal. Mitchell Briggs knew his father was a murderer. He knew Terrell was in that case, and he kept quiet for 26 years to protect his inheritance. What happens now? Jamal asks. Now, I arrest Mitchell Briggs. Accessory after the fact. Obstruction of justice. He'll spend 15 to 20 years in prison. And Gerald? Gerald is dead. But everyone will know what he did. That's something. Williams arrests Mitchell Briggs that afternoon. The story makes national news. Memphis PD holds a press conference. They apologize to Diana Jackson. They apologize to Jamal. They acknowledge they failed to properly investigate in 1996. They thank Jamal for his persistence. Jamal's video hits 3 million views. His subscriber count explodes to 700,000. Production companies reach out, documentary filmmakers, book agents. Everyone wants the story of how a YouTuber solved a 28-year-old murder. But Jamal doesn't feel like celebrating. Terrell Jackson is still dead. Diana Jackson waited 28 years for answers. That's not a victory. That's a tragedy that finally got resolved. 3 months later, in January 2025, Mitchell Briggs pleads guilty. Sentencing hearing is scheduled for February. Jamal attends, sits in the gallery with Diana Jackson and Terrell's other family members. Diana gives a victim impact statement. She walks to the front of the courtroom, looks at Mitchell Briggs. You knew, she says. Her voice is shaking but strong. For 26 years, you knew my brother was in that case. You knew we were suffering, every birthday, every Christmas, every anniversary. We wondered where Terrell was, if he was alive, if he was thinking of us. And you knew he was 5 minutes from my house. You knew, and you said nothing. Her voice breaks. Your father killed my brother. That's his sin. But you let my brother stay dead. You let us suffer. That's your sin. And I will never forgive you for that. The judge sentences Mitchell Briggs to 15 years in prison. No early release. After the hearing, Diana hugs Jamal outside the courthouse. Thank you. For everything. For looking twice. For not giving up when they arrested you. For caring about my brother. I just made a video, Jamal says. You did more than that. You gave us answers. You gave us closure. You brought Terrell home. She hands him something, an old photo. Terrell Jackson, on the set of Chamber of Horrors. Smiling, laughing with the crew, living his dream. I want you to have this. To remember him. Not as a prop in a case, but as a person. As my brother. As someone who loved acting and deserved to live. Jamal takes the photo. I'll remember him. 2 weeks later, there's a memorial service for Terrell Jackson. They bury him properly this time, next to his wife, in Elmwood Cemetery. The marker reads, Terrell Jackson, 1970 to 1996. Actor, dreamer, brother, hidden for 28 years. Found by someone who looked twice. Rest in peace. Jamal stands at the service, looks at the casket being lowered into the ground, thinks about everything that happened, how close he came to not going back, how close he came to just accepting that it was a prop, how close Terrell came to never being found. Diana stands next to him. What are you going to do now? You're famous, 500,000 subscribers, production deals on the table. Jamal thinks about it. I don't know. Keep exploring, I guess. But different now. More careful, more respectful. I know that abandoned doesn't mean empty. That forgotten doesn't mean gone. That's good, Diana says. The world needs people who look twice, who ask questions, who don't just accept the easy answer. Jamal looks at Terrell's grave, at his name carved in stone. Terrell Jackson wanted to be famous, wanted people to know his name, wanted to be remembered. For 28 years, people looked at him and walked away, until someone looked twice, until someone asked questions, until someone cared enough to not give up. And now Terrell Jackson will be remembered, not as a prop, not as a mystery, but as a person, as a brother, as an actor who loved his craft and died too young. Justice took 28 years, but it came because Jamal Carter hit record on his camera and refused to accept the easy answer, because he looked twice. And sometimes that's all it takes.